Kiss fans, what's up? Rambo here from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. It's midnight. Geez, I had a hell of a day today. First of all, I've been up since 7 o'clock in the morning. I worked till 7 o'clock tonight. And I came home prepared to do this episode probably about 8 o'clock tonight. I went to Walmart because I wanted to look up some notes about Mark St. John, because this is the Mark St. John episode. But my printer ink's low, so I went to Walmart and I bought some toilet paper. I bought some candy bars. I came home, realized my printer ink wasn't there. Went to Walmart. Back to Walmart. The cashier said she doesn't have it. She bagged it. Came back home, checked my car, checked the apartment, locked myself out of my apartment. Knew a way to break in. So I called. So I had my receipt. Called there. They told me to come over with the receipt, and they checked the footage on camera, and okay, part of it's my fault. Stupid old me. I leave my the cashier puts it in a separate bag, even though she denied it and said she put everything all together in one bag. Stupid me. I grab my bag of candy bars and toilet paper, and leave my bag of printer ink there. So they checked the footage on the camera, and after I left, somebody took my ink. So I got my money back, and I went to a CVS and got ink, but it cost me $20 more. So that's why it's midnight and I'm just getting started on this. And because I always have my notes somewhere, in case I need to look something up. Before I get to Mark St. John, I always like to recap the episode I did before, and it was the Vinny Vincent episode, and I like to bring up some things I missed. One thing I wanted to mention was the difference. I mentioned that Vinny Vincent and Eric Carr were the first, the only members to replace an original member. The only difference is Eric Carr got a television commercial and a Porsche, and where Vinny just had his picture taken in a newspaper saying he was filling in for Ace Frehley. What else? He states that Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, because they didn't like him so much, they made him stay in. They stayed in. Make him stay in this totally slumlord type of hotel with addicts and prostitutes. I don't know if I believe that or not. Vinny is known for telling white lies. I wouldn't put it past him if that's one of them. Because if that were true, if somebody did that to me, I wouldn't go back and try to join their band again. Then again, money talks, so who knows. See, what else did I want to mention about him? Christ, it's oh yeah. Here's something I wonder. Now that there's the rumors out, which I think is a fact, I honestly do believe that is a mannequin on the front cover of Lick It Up. So now that since he has this website where he's trying to sell the belt he wore on the Lick It Up cover and the Anka necklace. Now that we could be possibly aware, which I mean, I swear if I ever meet Paul or Gene, I swear that's the first question I'm going to ask him, because definitely the first question I would ask Vinny if I could find them under the rock he's hiding under. Yeah, I would have to, Eric Carr is the first person to bring that up. We can't ask him that for the obvious reason. So somehow the truth is going to come out, and we are going to find out if that is a mannequin or not. And I think I would actually bet I think I could bet money and win that bet, and say that is a mannequin. So my question is, if that is a mannequin on the front cover, Lick It Up, and the items that he's trying to sell on his website, like the belt and the Anka necklace, do they depreciate in value now that those items are worn on a mannequin? Man, ever since that's been brought up, I wonder if anybody else is thinking the same way I am. If that thought has crossed, their minds, I wonder if Vinny's thinking like, oh shit, now what am I gonna do? Don't worry, Vinny. Nobody's buying it anyway, so yeah. Love you to death, man, but I'm not spending $90,000 on the belt you wore on the front cover of Lick It Up. That I think wasn't even you wearing it. It was just around a mannequin body. So, anyways, I don't know what else did I want to bring up about him. I think there was like one more thing I wanted to mention about him. I don't know, was it about revenge? Was it about the invasion? I think it might be something Mark Slaughter mentioned or something. Nah, I'll bring it up later. I'm going to talk about him at the end of the episode. Because there's so much limited information about Mark St. John. I'm going to use this episode to talk about a different issue at the end. But okay, this is the Mark St. John episode, and this episode is going to be a little different because I'm going to start this episode out in a different way. And this is something I didn't do for Ace, and it's something I never did for Vinny. This is a really awesome guitar solo that you all must hear. It's called Magic Bullet Theory, and it is on an album that I can't find anyway, and if anybody can find it, please let me know, because I really want a copy of it myself. But this is a little treat for y'all. You're gonna love it. This is Now I'm going to walk away. I'm going to do a few things. This is Magic Bullet Theory. No, this song is called Slave Driver from the Mark St. John Project. Magic Bullet Theory. Wasn't that awesome? So don't ever say I don't appreciate Mark St. John. I really appreciate his work he did on Animalize. Even though he didn't play every song on Animalize, and for some of us Smart Kiss fans, we know that. So let's talk about that a little bit. I got my little Wikipedia cheat sheet here, and yes, I'm not. It's no secret that I go on Wikipedia a lot. And before I get to that, I'm not gonna lie about where I got. I'm gonna tell you where I get all my where I got all my information for this episode from, because this is a guy, even though I had a hard time doing a Gene Simmons episode, this is a guy that's hard to get information about because of his short tenure in KISS and for his lack of production of any other projects he's really done. I mean, he really didn't do anything. I mean, yeah, he played some local bands and stuff like that before KISS, but really he was just a guitar teacher before he joined KISS. And we're gonna get to that in a bit, but I want to talk about Animalize here. First of all, he doesn't play lead guitar on Heaven's on Fire. I've heard two different things. And before I get to that, one good thing about Wikipedia, even though it isn't 100%, even though Wikipedia is not 100% accurate, it does give credits to the unpublished musicians who play on these records. You know, look, just a perfect example will be Creatures of the Night. Who all the lead guitarists were on Creatures of the Night besides Vinny. Vinny wasn't the only one who played lead guitar on Creatures of the Night. As we know, Bruce Kulick did play some leads on some of these tracks. And rumor has it he played on Heaven's on Fire, but I heard two different stories. I heard one story I heard was Paul played all the guitars on that song, the bass, rhythm, and the lead. But I've also heard that he played that Bruce played on Heaven's on Fire. I will say this, that Mark is only credited on I'm sorry, everybody. I keep saying Asylum and Animalize. I always get those two backwards. I'm talking about the album Animalize, okay? Alright. But anyway, he does no songwriting, even though he's not asked to. He's only credited for being the lead guitarist. That would mean he does no rhythm guitar. And he does no backup vocals. So basically, he's just a hired gun for this record. And holy shit! What the hell? Like I said, this is about the album Animalize. This Wikipedia page here. I'm looking up. It says something about Tommy Thayer on here. Oh, they talk about Gene Simmons a little bit. How he was absent for this album. And yeah, Tommy Thayer's brought up because he was managing Black and Blue at the time. And one of the rumors I heard is Mark St. John was hired was because of that reason, because of Gene's vacancy. Paul refused to work with Vinnie Vincent, so he hired Mark St. John. Alright, so enough about Animalize. I mean, that's pretty much all the information I can give about Animalize, but I do like what Mark does on on the album. He's great on the opening track. I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. Great song. He's great on Thrills in the Night. That's my favorite song that he plays on. Two songs he does not play on is While the City Sleeps and Murder in High Heels, which is an issue I'm going to get into later, because you want to talk about two-sided stories. I think this Kiss member has the most, even though he has the least information, he has the most two-sided stories. Alright, so let's normally I play a CD when I do an episode, but I was just listening to Animalize in my car, and I was gonna play Animalize, but being that Mark doesn't play on all of it, and I just listened to it, and I thought the album was just absolutely fucking terrible, thanks to Gene Simmons. Paul's songs are great. Gene really fucked that album up. I think the three worst Kiss albums are Psycho Circus, Hot in the Shade, and Animalize. And I just listened to a little bit of Hot in the Shade. Hot in the Shade's actually better than Animalize. I mean, no disrespect. I know this is the first record that Paul Stanley produced. You know, it's no disrespect to Paul. It's no disrespect to Mark. Man, definitely no disrespect to Eric Carr. Why should there be? But instead of playing a CD, I'm gonna go to my MP3. I'm gonna get on YouTube and maybe play a few. I mean, I would like to play the whole White Tiger album, but I can play it on my laptop, but it's my laptop I'm using to talk to you all, and my phone does not have the White Tiger LP on here. They do have a live concert though, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through here. I'm gonna jump back and forth because my CD radio doesn't have a Bluetooth, so I have to have it plugged into a wire, and at the same time I'm charging my phone. So I'm gonna be jumping back and forth, playing some White Tiger songs. But let's get started on talking about Mark St. John here. Okay, even though Vinnie Vincent was the first member to join Kiss that was not from New York, but not far from New York, he was from Connecticut, so he may as well have been from New York. Mark St. John was from the opposite direction altogether. He was from California. Growing up, Mark Leslie Norton said before joining Kiss, he was a guitar teacher, a very good guitar teacher. He had a band, and Before I get to that, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. Most of my sources for this episode come from three sides of the coin. And one is the David Snowden episode where he speaks very badly about Mark St. John, and the other one is from his friend manager Eddie Korolick, who has nothing but great things to say about Mark and talks about makes him sound like a better person than Eric Carr, and I don't think that's even possible. So I can understand the guy's his friend and all, and he misses his friend, but it's like sometimes when you're so close with somebody and you think the world of them is, you know, not all your facts are straight, and you know, I'm not saying, you know, he's just like, you know, Carper's boy. Yeah, you know, if you saw the episode, you know, he has to stop and cry every once in a while. But I don't know. I just think there's I'm sure there were some demons Mark had that he left out. But on the other hand, David, the episode where he talks about Mark, Eric, and Vinny, I think some of his stories are a little far-fetched too. And in fact, I think goes a little rough on all three of those guys. Almost like he had an agenda. So, I guess he is somewhat of a public figure, but all he really was a he started fan groups. So I don't even know how reliable he is. So anyway, but like I said, he is from Hollywood, California, born in 1956. He was in a band with where he was the leader of the band. The front man, can't remember if his friend Eddie said he was the singer or not, but I don't believe he was. I think he was just all about being a guitarist. Says he started a band and all the other members went somewhere except for him, and that's when somebody hooked him up with Kiss, and apparently when he joined Kiss, it almost sounded like the same story we hear about Ace. Like, he just plugged in and blew him away. Only this time, Mark may have been wearing the same colored shoes. So anyway, besides that, alright. Vinny's out. Mark is in. They recorded the album Animalize. And like I said, he does a good job on there, but he is not on all the songs. This is when Paul and Gene are fighting. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play Thrills in the Night on Animalize. I'm gonna play some good songs. I'm gonna play some good songs on Animalize here. On Rhapsody, since I don't actually own the CD itself. information I have about Mark St. John besides what I hear on three sides of the coin. And Wikipedia. I heard a little bit from Peter Chris's book because you know he does he had a little project with Mark, and I hear a little bit from Paul's book. When I perused through Gene's book, I really didn't check him out. What do you have to say about Mark St. John? But I do gotta say, I really do not appreciate what Paul had to say about Mark. I think Paul was being a little out of line. He didn't have to call him this overgrown, goofy-looking guy. You know, I don't think that was really necessary, Paul. You should be ashamed of yourself. Also, I watched a documentary, and this is kind of why I think Vinny is Gene's boy. On this documentary, you know, okay, you hear all you ever hear Gene say is negative about Vinny is he was unethical. Paul goes on and says that Vinny didn't fit in the band and he had his demons. But when Gene goes on to talk about Mark, it's as if he's talking about Vinny. You know what I mean? Because everybody talks about how Vinny plays 1,000 notes a minute. Mark was a shredder guitarist, just like Vinny was. You don't hear Gene talk about Vinny's lead guitar playing, but here he is. I'm watching this documentary. I wish I could remember it. It was on VH1 or something, and he's saying like, you know, Mark overdid it. You know, he was too much of a shredder, and how Gene just likes to hear that open A. He doesn't talk that way about Vinny, but he talks that way about Mark. I mean, really, what did this guy do to them? I mean, and I'm gonna get to that later, but in Peter's book, he talks about, you know, that this is the era where Gene and Paul are not getting along because Gene wants to move on and do some other things, like his movie career. He's managing Black and Blue, so he was pretty vacant with Kiss at the time. And Peter says that one of the reasons Mark even developed writer's syndrome before I get to that, this is one of those horrible Gene Simmons songs I'm talking about, and I'm only playing it for you to hear. This is the one that Michael Brandwolf makes fun of all the time. Burn, bitch, burn. So anyway, Peter explains in his book, because they put a little project together called The Key. That one of the reasons Mark developed writer's syndrome. This sounds a little far-fetched, and a lot of people say, especially Peter's first wife says Peter has a lot of lies in his book. I don't know. I rather like the book, whether there's lies in it or not. But, you know, I found it an interesting read. But he said that Paul and Gene were making Mark and Eric go from studio to studio, and that is something I believe. And it just kind of became too much on Mark's hand. And by the time it was time for them to tour, Mark only did 2.5 concerts because he couldn't, and they had to bring Bruce Kulick in. And I'm hearing stories that where there's some concerts where they take turns or something like that. It's like Bruce starts the show and Mark comes out and plays 5 songs, and then Bruce comes back. And there's one concert where for once we see 5 members of Kiss bowing at the end of the show. And well, with this episode, you know, like I did for Vinny and Eric Carr, I don't have many pictures to give you. Here, I'll give you one from his Wikipedia page. There you go. But it pretty much got to a point where Bruce Kulick was playing on stage, and Mark was just sitting in the back. Bruce was being a friend to Mark. He wasn't, you know, trying to step on his toes or anything. He tried to help him out, the best he could. Paul and Gene, you know, they needed somebody. Yeah, once again, they go to Bob Kulick and they're like, "Look, I'm not doing it, but you should check my brother out, you know." So, according to Eddie, Mark, you know, has the contract to do the album and the tour. And they give him his $50,000 and don't renew his contract, and they hire Bruce Kulick. So that's a pretty short story there. But in between, David mentions that Mark was mean to Eric Carr. Eric was trying to give him some pointers, you know, being that, you know, he's been in the band since 1980. This is where Eric, you know, wants to start being a little more utilized. You know, he feels like, you know, even though he's not the original drummer, yes, he is a member of Kiss. You know, so, you know, they're you know, every lead guitarist and rhythm guitarist, you know, they play with the drummer. You know, they write. You know, so apparently, you know, Eric's trying to, you know, give him some pointers, and Mark just turns around and says, "Oh, what do you know? You're just a drummer." Like I said, I don't even know how reliable this guy is. I mean, he was just the guy who started fan clubs. But anyways, another rumor I heard was that Mark really didn't like being in Kiss anyway, and was using his illness as a way to get out of his contract. And yeah, I did hear that somebody interviewed Mark St. John, and he said he doesn't even like Kiss's music. Whatever. I mean, I heard that. I mean, pretty much was the same deal with Eric Carr and Vinny. They were never really Kiss fans before they joined the band, but it's a big name band. It's almost as big as being in the Beatles, you know. So who's gonna say no to that? Rumor has it, Eddie Van Halen never denied that he wanted to join Kiss. So anyway, so where did Mark St. John go from there? He started a band with his brother called White Tiger. I just played you a song from White Tiger. I laid down in bed one day and just took a little listen. They kind of have an Iron Maiden kind of sound to them. I don't know if Iron Maiden was a band that Mark was really into or not, but yeah, it kind of got that kind of sound. So they have a 2-contract deal with some record company, but only do one album, and with Peter Criss trying to be spiteful towards Kiss, he thinks it would be a good idea to take a former member and start a band with him. That didn't last very long because apparently Mark was too much for Peter to handle. Peter, rehab, recovering from his cocaine addiction. Mark's apparently bringing 8 balls of coke to the hotel and cheap hookers, which Peter did not appreciate too much. I'm not. Here we go. Now here's some good guitar. Here's some good guitar from Mark St. John right here. So anyway, he breaks up White Tiger and basically replaces the drum with Peter Criss, but it's Peter and Mark's band, and they call themselves The Keep. And when they shot the demo, the demo says the cassette says Peter Criss on it. So like I mentioned earlier, they didn't hit it off, and that didn't last very long. Back to White Tiger, something I forgot to mention. The bass player was his brother Michael, and the lead singer was a man named David Donato, who did some demo work with Black Sabbath. They never hired him, but either way, yeah, I guess they were okay for an 80s band, 80s hair band. Another thing I mentioned, of course, the most important thing, Mark St. John is the first member to join Kiss that never wore makeup. Bruce Kulick was the other, making Bruce Kulick the only living member of Kiss to have been in Kiss to have never worn makeup. So after The Keep, the only other thing I heard that he did was was he did the Mark St. John project, which is something I'm having a hard time finding. I can't find it. I looked on Amazon, I looked on eBay, I can't find it. So if anybody knows a way I can find these CDs, let me know. I'd really like to purchase them. I did get on Amazon one time, and they were trying. Somebody was trying to sell the White Tiger CD for $100. Sorry. Yeah, I like to collect, but I'm not buying a White Tiger CD, a regular 10-song White Tiger CD for $100. Now I think they're trying to sell it for $40. I guess it's rare. It's pretty rare, so I'm not. I guess if you want it bad enough, you pay $40 for it. When he joined Kiss, he was still living with his dad. Sort of like one of those houses where it has a shed, or there's like a certain part of the house where it's like you have your own house, kind of something like that. Another interesting fact about Mark St. John was he shares the same death date with Kurt Cobain, which I believe April 7th. And I can't believe this off. I don't know this off the top of my head. It's either April 7th or April 5th. Yeah. Actually, yeah, April 5th. Says it right there. Alright, so enough of analyze, because I think the rest is Bruce Kulick from here. So let me get on YouTube. Let's see if I can find a little more White Tiger. Yeah, I was right. The rest is Bruce Kulick. I'm going to get back to YouTube and see if I can find some White Tiger tunes here. Okay, just watch that. Okay, here's a song called No, I'm Not Afraid. So, he does make another appearance at a Kiss convention where he looks terrible. Apparently, Mark's rise to stardom and his immediate drop led to a deep depression where he did develop a drug habit, and from what I believe, started drinking a lot too, and became very self-destructive. He died on February 7th. No, I'm sorry. He was born on February 7th, 1956. He died on April 5th, 2007. Apparently a brain hemorrhage from an overdose of methamphetamine. So pretty much that's it. I mean, that's my Mark St. John story. I wish there was more I could I could give. Yeah, man. Here's one thing I question. Eddie, his friend and manager, says that Mark was playing Gene's bass lines, and like I said, one good thing about Wikipedia is they do give credit to uncredited musicians to play on the record, and they only credit them for playing lead guitar. So, and if he's got Bruce Kulick playing lead guitar in his songs, why would he have Mark playing bass? I don't know. I'm you know, Gene is notorious for sometimes feeling like he's too good to play his own bass lines, but he did play bass on Sonic Boom and Monster. So whatever. But yeah, there is a Kiss convention. You can find it online. He looks terrible, and he died April 7th of 2007 of a brain hemorrhage from an overdose of methamphetamines. Sad story. But that's my Mark St. John episode. You know, anybody else would probably say Mark St. John was hired to replace Vinnie Vincent and was replaced by Bruce Kulick, and that's my Mark St. John episode. But I think I did a little better than that. Alright, so now I'm gonna use this time to talk about some of the things some skeptics and critics are saying about Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons as employers towards some of their employees, and specifically the band members. Jeez, what a loss of words I am right now. The replacement members. Okay. David in episode 167 of Three Sides of the Coin says that Eric Carr, Vinnie Vincent, and Mark St. John were never the same after leaving Kiss. However, saying before Kiss, they were different people. Well, let's start with Eric. Of course, Eric became a different person after joining Kiss because he was happy as hell. A lot of rumors going around saying that he became a drug addict and an alcoholic afterwards. According to Loretta Caravello, his sister, and Eddie, his friend and manager, doesn't really sound like he had any kind of a real drug or alcohol problem. But yeah, of course he changed after being Kiss because he had cancer. So of course that changed him. But if you see, there is a YouTube episode where you actually see him in the hospital, and he's still acting like a kid in a candy shop. But apparently he was unhappy at the end of his Kiss tenure, but he passed away, and we all miss him. Vinny, I even hear before Vinny joined Kiss, he was actually somewhat of a pretty laid-back kind of guy. I don't know. I've never heard any stories from Felix Cavalier or Dan Hartman, except I think I may have heard something about he was trying to show Dan Hartman up by being the center of the stage and kind of doing this thing with his guitar. But yeah, Vinny pretty much changed the most. He pretty much grew an ego, and even though Paul Stanley gave him the name Vinnie Vincent and the Egyptian warrior, Aqua warrior, or wizard gimmick, which actually has no gimmick. I mean, there's really no story behind the Aqua warrior, or whatever you want to call him. But Vinny pretty much took the name Vinnie Vincent and I would say while he was in Kiss, that was Vinnie Vincent Vincent Cusano with a stage name. Vinnie Vincent was Vincent Cusano's alter ego altogether. And with Mark, like I said earlier, the rise to stardom and leading to failure really brought him down, and that's a real sad story. Something else I forgot to mention. His friend and manager Eddie says that Mark was a very athletic person and he was very much full of energy, and there is mention that he was pretty much trying to upstage Paul by doing splits. When Paul would do a split on stage, Mark would be right behind him doing a split, and they told him, hey, you don't do that. You want to end up like the last guy that played lead guitar in this band. You listen to us. you don't show up Paul Stanley. But that's what he was saying, that Mark was a leader, he wasn't much of a follower, and maybe that's one of the reasons he didn't work out too well with the band. But that's about all I got. And that was my Mark St. John episode. Looks like I got about almost an hour, and I was able to give a 1 hour Mark St. John episode. Not bad. Pretty proud of myself. So next week will be the Bruce Kulick episode, and I will see you next week. Take care.